En un mundo donde la desigualdad económica y los desafíos sociales siguen siendo prevalentes, la búsqueda de soluciones sostenibles y humanitarias se hacen más importantes que nunca. Hoy tenemos el privilegio de conversar con un pionero en el ámbito de la inclusión financiera y el empoderamiento social, cuyas ideas han transformado la vida de millones alrededor del mundo. Nos acompaña el doctor Muhammad Yunus, galardonado con el Premio Nobel de la Paz por su revolucionaria creación del Banco Grameen y el concepto de microcrédito, que se han abierto un camino hacia la autonomía y el progreso para las poblaciones más desfavorecidas. Con una carrera dedicada contra la lucha de la pobreza y la promoción de las economías más inclusivas, el doctor Yunus nos inspira a mirar más allá de los sistemas tradicionales y a imaginar un mundo donde cada individuo tiene el poder de cambiar su realidad y la de su comunidad. Desde sus primeros pasos en Bangladesh hasta la expansión de sus iniciativas, el doctor Yunus ha demostrado que la compasión, la innovación y la acción colectiva pueden crear un mundo de tres ceros: cero pobreza, cero desempleo y cero emisiones netas de carbono. Dr. Yunus, it's an honor and privilege to have you with us today. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm talking to you from Bangladesh, from Dhaka. It's evening time right now.
Thank you so much for receiving us. Perhaps this is the most important question of the day, Professor. Please, can you tell us about yourself? Who is Muhammad Yunus?
Okay. Well, I was doing my PhD at Vanderbilt University under a Fulbright scholarship in 1965 to 1972. Then I started teaching at Middle Tennessee State University and the last 3 years of my stay in the United States. And I was enjoying my teaching. I always enjoyed. And in the meantime, Bangladesh got into a civil war with Pakistan. So we became an independent country, separating from Pakistan. We were known as East Pakistan, but after the civil war, we called ourselves Bangladesh. And I joined the Bangladesh movement and worked for the success of the war, civil war. And then at the end of 1971, in December 16, Bangladesh became independent. And I resigned from my job at the Middle Tennessee State University, and I went back to Bangladesh right away. So in early 72, I came back to Bangladesh and started teaching in the university with full of enthusiasm that we have a beautiful country now, but there's a very, very poor country. We were told we are the basket case. We don't have a chance to survive. That's the kind of poverty in Bangladesh. And we had a famine in 1974, and I was feeling terrible. Here I teach economics, and I have no way how to help people who are dying because of hunger. Economics never taught me that. So I was rebelling against economics. And finally, I thought, why don't I just start to learn myself rather than learn from my classroom, which never told me how to help people. So I tried to bring my own way of looking at people and to learn from people. So I started going to the village next door to the campus to learn from them and trying to solve their problem one by one, not in a big way, not a theory, just whatever little problem you have, can I help you? My mission was to make myself useful to people, even for one day, for one person, that's all. So I did a lot of little things, and something drew me into a direction where I started lending money to people because they are becoming victims of loan sharks. Loan sharks take away everything they got by giving some little money. So I thought if I lend the money to people, then loan shark cannot make them miserable by taking away everything. So I started lending money from my own pocket. And that became very successful. I was very happy that it's working. People liked it, and they were actually paying me back. So I wanted to make sure I create a bank for them. So that became a big hassle. It took a lot of time, several years. In 1976, I began the whole idea, microcredit. In 1983, we created a bank called Grameen Bank or Village Bank, started lending. Then I great controversy with the banking. I said banking system is wrong because it is based on the principle that the more you have, the more you get. If you have nothing, you don't get nothing. So I reversed it. I said, if you are poor, you get the first priority. And if you have more, you go to wait in line because our priority is the poor people. So I started lending to the poor women, focused on women. Later on, it became known as microcredit. And our principle is reverse of the conventional banking. But conventional banking goes to the rich, we go to the poor. Conventional economics, banking goes to men, we go to women. Conventional banks go to city center, we go to remote villages, remote places of the country where no banks exist. Conventional banks want collateral. We said, forget about collateral. This is based on trust. No collateral because poor people cannot give collateral. Since we don't have collateral, we don't need any lawyers. So it's a lawyer-free bank because you don't need any document because it's based on trust. So it became an interesting bank and people started studying it and it copied it all around the world, including Mexico. In many places in Mexico, this thing came out. Then we tried to get into many other things called social business, entrepreneurship, healthcare, many other things. And we are very proud of what we have been doing.
Well, Professor, congratulations for this effort, and in particular for the Nobel Peace Prize for developing, in particular, this concept, pioneering the microcredit, the microfinance structure that we know today. Could you please share with us the work that leads you to win this prestigious award?
Well, these ideas that we generated became very popular, and many people started their own program in other countries. It spread from Bangladesh to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to Philippines, and the United States, and Africa, and France, and Poland, and many places. So it drew attention because nobody thought banking can be done with the poor people. We demonstrated under all circumstances it's done in a very sustainable way. It's not a charity, it's a business, but business to help people. So that drew attention and I started receiving awards. In 1983, we became a formal bank. In 1984, we get the Magsaysay Prize, which is a very renowned prize in Asia. So this, right after we became a bank, I got the prize. Then I got the Sydney Peace Prize. And then I got the Seoul Peace Prize from Korea. In 2005. And in 2006, I got the Nobel Peace Prize. So it's a series of awards, prizes, and so on. Finally, Nobel Peace Prize. After Nobel Peace Prize, I got the Congressional Gold Medal from the United States, Presidential Medal from United States, and many other prizes around the world.
Once more, congratulations on this. On this effort, Professor. Now, while we are reading about all your work, there is one specific word that comes from my attention, which is inequality. Dr. Paul Farber often said that the root of all that is wrong in the world, especially in health, but not only in health, but in all the social determinants, is the result of inequality. Do you believe this to be true?
Absolutely, absolutely. Only simply, I stated a slightly different way. I take inequality is a result. It's not the cause. The cause is someplace else. The cause is in the root of the economic system that we follow, which is the maximization of profit. So everybody is focusing on maximizing profit. So in the process, money is running to get more money. So the institutions we build, like banks, they lend money to people who already have lots of money. See, money chasing money to make money. So all the things are running after the money. In the process, the people, who are at the top, becoming more wealthy, more rich. People at the bottom remain empty because no institutions, no policies support them. So it is the failure of the system which creates inequality, because you do not create institutions and policies to help the people at the bottom. Everything is focused on the rich and the richest. So there's wealth concentration. The whole process is wealth concentration. I gave the example. It's like a sucking machine. You have a sucking machine. Wealth is sucked in the bottom. All the people at the bottom, they help you to suck the wealth, and the wealth goes to the top. So 5% of the people of the world own 95% of the wealth of the world. So that's the problem. Because machine always supports you to get, if you have money, you get more money. You have more money, you still have more money. If you don't have money, you don't get any money. So you stay there. So there is a separation of people and the wealth. Wealth goes to the top, people remain at the bottom without wealth. So this is the problem, which it creates inequality. And see, inequality is a very soft word. It's a more dangerous than that. It's a whole, destroy the whole social system, because money goes, wealth goes to the top people, and it continues. Today, you have 5% of the people owning 95%. Tomorrow, 4% of the people will be owning 96% of the wealth. So it's becoming more wealth to fewer people every day, every week, every month, every year. This is what is happening. So we have to redesign the system so that it is not profit maximization, chasing money is not the solution. Solution is somewhere else. That's why we created institutions, policies, and other things that we'll be discussing if you would like to.
Of course, thank you. So in all this experience, I wonder if you have witnessed any change in how poverty is addressed in the world. Are we
Poverty,
how to do it?
yeah. Poverty is still addressed in an old way. They think you are poor, you need help, so they give you charity. People keep trust foundations, organizations to help you, to give free things. And this is charity, this helps people, but it doesn't solve the problem. Because the system keeps on creating poverty. You are trying to help the people to come back from poverty. So their force, the system force, is much stronger than what you can do with the charity. Governments want to help poor people. They come with welfare system. The government give you a check every month if you're a rich country, so that you can take care of yourself with the check. But that is not the solution. They're simply ignoring the problem, that bypassing the problem. I said you have to go back to the root of the problem itself, so that people can solve the problem by themselves. So create alternatives. So how to make the finance flow to the people, so that like microcredit brings wealth or resources to the poor peoples, so they can use entrepreneurship. Another faulty thing in the economic system is it tells people to get a job. But the job is a solution to poverty. Job is a solution for income and all that. I said, that's a very wrong idea. Human beings are not born to work for somebody else. Job is a part of slavery. You work for somebody else for little money, and you gather wealth for him or her, so that they become rich and you don't get anything. You collected the wealth for him, and they become the rich, and you don't get anything. I said, that's a very wrong way. Human beings are born as entrepreneur. Human beings are very creative beings, but the system doesn't accept that. System says, no, you work for somebody. You have to have a job. Job narrows you down. Job doesn't allow you to be creative, because if you're in a job, they ask you to take orders, obey orders. Then you cannot exercise your flexibility of doing things. So I said that system puts in a reverse way. Instead of being creative, they take away your creativity and put into a job situation. I said every human being is a creative being and as an entrepreneur. So their life should start as an entrepreneur. In order to be an entrepreneur, you need money. Nobody gives you money. System doesn't give you money. System gives you money at the top, not at the bottom. So you miss it out. So we create a separate banking. That's where the microcredit is so important. We give $10, $20, $50, $100, suddenly they become entrepreneur. Every person who receives this money, $50, $100, $200, transforms himself or herself as an entrepreneur. The women who have no idea what the world is like, the moment they get this money, their entrepreneurship come back, and they start doing things and take care of themselves, stand on their own feet. So financial system has to be revised. The concept of entrepreneurship has to be brought in. Our education system has to be changed, because education systems tell you get a good degree to get a good job, as if job is the ultimate of the human being. That's not true. And in a job, you have 60 years, 65 years, 70 years, whatever time, and you retire. And you look forward to the retirement benefit, as if that is the end of life. Just because you became 65 doesn't mean your creativity ended. You are now a mature person. So there is, in our system that we propose, there is no retirement. Human beings never retire. Human beings always remain active and creative, even until the last breath. So because we are creative people, we are entrepreneurs. So we continue to entrepreneurs. So school system, education system teach you to become entrepreneur. So the education system tells you how to get the money from the bank. So you have to create a new banks so that while I'm in school, I can borrow money, I can start my business. I don't have to wait for my certificate. Job needs certificate. Entrepreneurship doesn't need certificate. Entrepreneurship needs ideas. So we are focusing on ideas, not on serving somebody at the feet of somebody else and so on. That's not it. So this is how we redesign the whole system, entrepreneurship, and we talk about creating a new world, creating a world of 3 zeros: zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, and zero unemployment.
Yes, actually, in your book, well, you offer an optimistic view, perhaps a roadmap for a better future. Could you share with us some of these key steps and how we contribute to this vision?
Of course, this is very important. It's a question of asking myself, what is my role in this planet? Is it just for survival? I came here to survive. Somebody gave me a job and I worked a full day and I give some money for that so that I can feed my family and survive. Is survival the issue? I said, no. Survival is a very petty part of human being. Human being is so creative. They know how to survive. There's much more than survival.
Yes.
Kind of contribution. So I said, if you consider this planet as a spaceship, because after all, it's a spaceship, it's floating in the space. If it's a spaceship, the system tells us that as if we are passengers on this spaceship. We sit there, work very hard to move from the economy class to the business class, from business class to first class. They struggle how to make that. I said, that's not our role. We are not passengers on this planet. We are the pilots of this planet. We have to take this planet where we want to take it to. And that's our role. We bring all our creativity, all our stamina, and make sure that we take the planet to the right places. And then if you want to be the pilot, you have to know what is your destination, where you want to go. Here we don't, if you're a passenger, you sit there, you know, wherever the plane goes, you'll go with them. You don't think about your flight plans and so on and so forth. But if you're a pilot, if you are a decider of the destination, you have to know what the destination is. So education system should give you the idea, a space so that you can start thinking what will be my destination. So education system should ask you what role you want to play in this planet. So you have all the opportunities in your life to make sure you follow that. So that's the life, fulfilling my responsibility, my role, because being in the planet is only for a short period. It's a very short period that we are here. Within that period, we have to find a way how to contribute in this planet so that this, when I leave a better planet than I was in the first place. So it's not just taking a job and carry on a routine work every day and go home and then finish. That's not life. That's a kind of focusing in the wrong direction. So we have to find the right direction. So this is one that we have to change the education system, and then create institutions to make that happen. And then we say the present system is creating all the dangers for us through emission, carbon emission. So we have to bring it down to zero. Our house is burning. We know that because of the carbon emission, our house is burning. But we talk as if everything is okay. We are having parties in the burning house. It can wait, it can be done next year or 10 years later, but the house is burning. We are not paying attention to it. Urgency part has disappeared. So I said that, first of all, we have to figure out how to stop the fire. So if we are serious about stopping the fire, we have to get out of the house and stop the fire. not have a kind of a fun thing, have a party inside the house. So that awareness has to be generated. So we could talk about creating that awareness and make it a world of 3 zeros, zero net carbon emission, and also wealth concentration. The question of putting people at the bottom without a wealth has to go. We have to redesign the system so the wealth and people remain together. They're not separate from each other. Today it is separate. People remain in the bottom. Wealth goes to the top only to a handful of people. That has to go. It is all the wealth should be shared by all the people. So that's the system. So we have to redesign the economic framework, which is now focused on profit maximization, where we become money-making robots. All we do is to make money. We concentrate on money. We forget that we are a human being. So we have to discover ourselves as human being. And basic features of human being is about sharing and caring. In profit maximizing world, there is no sharing, there is no caring. All you do is to become a robot of making money. So we became a robot rather than human being. So we have to redesign this system so that we discover ourselves human being and create this world of 3 zeros, zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, and zero unemployment.
Yes. Professor, one final question. What final message would you like to share with the young health professionals and all the audience that is watching this interview right now?
Yes, indeed. We have lots of things to do. It's concrete things we can do, like we are inviting young people, because we tell the young people we are the most powerful generation in human history. It's not just powerful generation for the time being, it's the most powerful generation in the entire human history, because no other generation in the entire history had so much technology in their hand. Today's young people are born with technology. They start, while they crawl in the floor, they look for things to press, touch, and things naturally, because everywhere he knows that something can happen by touching, something by pushing, and so on. And as you grow up, entire technology become part of it, which even your previous generation, one generation before, they didn't have that. Today you have everything. So how to make use of this technology? If you're the most powerful generation in human history, are you aware of it? It looks like you look like your father, your mother, your everybody else, but you're different. You are most powerful. You are just like Aladdin's genie. You know, the Aladdin's lamp, you touch the lamp and the genie comes out and you tell the genie, do this for me, and genie does that. So today's young people are the genie of Aladdin's story. They can do anything they want. That's the power. So important thing to do, figure out what you want to do. If you don't make up your mind, you'll never do it. So you have the power, don't waste it. Because if you don't use the power, it will be just wasted. You had it, you had the Aladdin's lamp, but you never touched it. Genie never came out. Nothing got done. So you feel like that. You want to have a very concrete idea what you want to do and make it happen. And if you decide what you want to do, it will happen. If you don't decide, it will never happen. And imagination becomes very important part. Imagine the world that you want to create. If you imagine, only then it will happen. Everything that we have around the world is because somebody imagined something different. That's why you got it done. If we all said, okay, everything is fine, nothing will be changed. It looks very, very difficult when you see it. That's why imagination helps. If it is difficult, you can't do it, imagine it. If you keep on imagining it, then you'll find the way how to make it done. And then it will happen. So I will advise everybody, particularly young people, to imagine. Imagination is a big power. It's not idle time wasted. It is a very important thing. If you imagine the biggest thing that you can make it happen. If you imagine the biggest thing, that's the thing it will happen. Don't imagine little things. This is a waste of time. Imagine the biggest thing and make it happen. That's why we want to create yourself. You can make yourself zero waste generation. Because waste is going to kill us. And we are continuously creating waste every day in our house, in our school, in our everyday life, in our business. We are creating waste to destroy human being on this planet. We'll be under the grave of the waste that will be very soon. So how to turn ourselves into zero waste generation? We promise to ourselves we will not create any waste, and we will make sure everything is recycled so that we are not put down by the waste around us. So we are encouraging young people to create 3-0 clubs. 5 young people get together, create a club, 3-0 club. The idea of the 3-0 club is every person, every member of the club, 5 member, must promise to himself or herself that I will not contribute to global warming. I will not use fossil fuel. I will not use plastic. So I will not create global warming myself. And that's my commitment. And I might design my life accordingly. I will not contribute to wealth concentration. Whatever creates wealth concentration, I will not go with, because this is destroying the planet by the differences, income differences, and so on and so forth. So I will not take that path. I will not create wealth concentration. I will not contribute to unemployment. So ultimately, I will become a 3-0 person. I do not contribute to all those problems, and I will be a 0 waste person. So all 5 members become the 3-0 persons. If the club is all about the 3-0 person, 1 club, 2 club, all 3-0 persons, the whole world becomes 3-0 world. That's the way to do that. So this is the direction that we are inviting young people to do. I'm very happy. Now thousands of 3-0 clubs are coming up around the world, and many people are supporting, helping them, young people, to achieve that 3-0 person status as soon as possible, as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much. This idea, it's wonderful. Professor, I would like also to thank you for this message, and also for the time that you give us today on this space. It has been an honor to have this interview and a conversation with you. Well, from the Mexican Society of Public Health, I also want to thank you and give our greetings for you, your family, and all the team, and the amazing work that you are doing in Bangladesh and for the world. We are following up the work that you are doing, and it has been really a privilege to have this small but amazing conversation with you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to talk to you, and hope to be keeping in touch with you. Keep in touch.
We will be. Thank you so much, and have a good day in Bangladesh,
Thank you.
Professor.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.